Hello guys, how you doing? How have you been? It's been a minute since I made one of these YouTube videos, but I'm back now. So in this video, what we're going to be talking about is how you can easily trade off price action. Now, when I say price action, I mean like trading straight from the charts using pure market structure, no indicators whatsoever, right? So a lot of people actually make mistakes on how you can actually trade off price action. So I'm going to make it clear how you can easily trade price action and increase your winning rate in trading, right? If you're new to the channel, or if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to like this video, subscribe so that you won't miss out on future content, as I will be dropping plenty of content in the future. Okay, so let's dive right into it. So what's price action? When a person says, I'm a price action trader, what does that person mean? What the person means is that this guy is actually trading off pure price action movement, pure price movement. That's what price action means. It's actually a word that actually stands on its own, right? So it's actually price action, right? So you trade off on what the price is doing. And if you ask a lot of successful traders, they'll tell you, don't predict the market, trade what the market is doing. Now, if you ask me, I think the best way you can actually do that is by following what the price is doing, right? And that's therefore being price action, right? So with price action, there are a few tips that I'd like to give you while trading price action that will actually benefit you. So the first tip is that while trading off price action, you need to identify a couple of things. Now, the first thing that you need to identify is the trend, right? So let's reduce the size of this. Okay, let's make it a 20. Okay, so the first thing that you need to identify while trading price action is the trend, okay? Now, when I say trend, what do I mean? When I say trend, I mean what is the price general movement? Like, is it creating lower highs and lower lows, therefore calling it downtrend? Or is it creating higher lows and higher highs, therefore being an uptrend? Excuse me. So once you identify this, okay, what's this doing? Once you identify what the price is doing, what is the price trending, the price trend or the action that's going on in the market will actually give you a very good idea of what you're actually looking for in the market, okay? Now, after identifying the trend, that's the first thing in the market. After identifying the trend, you move on to the second thing, okay? So before we actually move on to the second thing, let's look, for instance, here we're on the Euro USD. So you can see that right now prices, if you ask me, it's in a downtrend because it's creating, we had a high here, right? And then we created a low, we created a lower high, and then prices were in some sort of consolidation here, right? Now, when I say consolidation is when I mean prices aren't trending, but they're creating the same highs and same lows. So this is what we call a ranging market, okay? So here you can't actually get a trade. It's very risky to trade in such market conditions, okay? You have to look for trades in trending markets. Okay, so now here you can see prices created a high and then a low, and then a lower high in general. And then once prices created a lower low here, after breaking out of this range, out of this ranging market, prices broke here. You can see this. After prices broke here and closed below this zone here, then that means prices had created another lower low. So that means this was right here was your trigger as to notice that some action is going on. Now, if we zoom in, we can actually see that prices did break and then retest before they actually continued moving down. So that's what you actually need to be focusing on, right? It's what trend is in the marketing. So here you can notice that prices were in a downtrend. So therefore you are looking for a selling opportunity. And once prices were ranging here, when prices broke and closed below this zone here, that was another confirmation that, okay, prices are going to sell hard. So once prices retested here, this was a great opportunity for you to sell and maximize or capture this profit here. So based off this, it was only based off the trend. We got that analysis of the trend, right? Now, the second thing that you need to look at while trading off price action, or you need to focus on, is the structure, okay? This is another thing that you need to focus on hard if you want to make it out of price action, or if you want to make it as a trader trading price action. You need to understand the structure in the market, okay? Now, when I say structure, I mean these sort of things: supports, resistances, trend lines, all those are structures, because the market is moved, remember, by money. In money, if for instance a person makes a transaction right now saying I'm buying the USD, he has a target in which he believes the price will reach there before he liquidates his money, before he takes his profit, right? Now, all of these are actually in terms of numbers. So for instance, you can see maybe a person, let me put this horizontal line here. So for instance, here, maybe a person made a transaction, bought some USD maybe, with the intentions that once prices reach 1400, I'm selling it, right? Once prices hit 1400, I'm selling it. So here you can see prices hit here. They were in the same consolidation range here, but they never hit that. So you can see that people will be trading off these market structures, right? We can put another one maybe down here. Let's round it off to the closest. You can see how it tips off. So they're very sensitive price areas in the markets, right? Now, people trade off these numbers, like whole numbers in general, right? Now, trading off structure is that structure is basically support and resistances, or demand and supply, whatever you want to call it, liquidation areas, liquidity pools, whatever you want to call it, but these are market structures. You need to understand that the market structure, what happens in market structures, not just identifying them, but being able to know that what's most likely going to happen in these market structures, okay? So for instance, if you have a market structure here, and perhaps another one down here, if prices break above, okay, if prices maybe break above here, and then they come back here in this support area or supply area, let's say, what will be happening is that prices are most likely will be able to get some bullish traction or bullish momentum to actually go up here, right? And then once prices reach here, what we so-called a resistance area, prices will be resisted from going any higher. And most likely what prices will do is that they'll sell. Now, one of the problem in which I've seen people do while trading off price action is that they can identify the trend correctly, they identify structure and all that, but then once prices reach on these key levels or these market structures, the mistake that they do is that they actually end up taking the trade way before it provides any confirmation candlestick. So for instance, it's like, let me remove this. So for instance, let's look at this trend that we are looking at on this Euro USD. And let's say prices you believed came here, right? But this was a nice trend. This was a nice trend. Okay. Yeah, let's assume on this last touch here, okay? So you've been used to it, okay? Prices came here, hit this support area, bounced off to this resistance area. They came back down here, you know, pushed all the way until here, didn't really hit that touch. But then here again, there's this area you can see where there was some sort of what people call liquidity pools. Okay, but you can see from here, prices hit all the way until to this resistance level. But then once prices reached again here, so you may find people, a person, because prices just hit this support area, a person will buy before prices even provide a confirmation candlestick. And then what happened is that prices pushed below because it had more bearish momentum, and it's still pushing. God damn. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that another thing is not only about identifying structure, it's also about waiting for the confirmation that aligns with your structure or your bias in the market. That is what will actually give you that extra edge in the market. Otherwise, if you just buy off support and resistances, buy off from support and sell off resistances, that will just be straight off gambling. Yes, I'm not going to deny that some trades will play out your way. Hey, it happens. But then that's gambling because you don't have confirmation to align with your bias. Okay? So the next thing that you need to look at is after structure is confirmation. Has the market provided a confirmation that aligns with your bias? If that's there, then you're all good to go. You're all Gucci, and you can just pull the trigger. Okay. Yeah. And the third thing that you need to do after identifying the structure and confirmation, let me change this into end confirmation, right? After identifying not only structure, but also end confirmation. Oh my God. And confirmation. Then after that, and only after that, is when do you actually move on to the third step, which is the best step, I believe, that everybody likes as a trader: pulling that trigger. I'm just smiling by writing this. Oh my God. Okay, pulling the trigger. So that means after identifying the trend, market structure, and confirmation, that's when you take the trade without hesitation, without second doubting yourself, without anything. You just take the trade because anything can happen in the market. It doesn't mean that after taking the trade, after all of this, then you'll be 100% accurate in the market. No, it just gives you a better edge to be a better trader in the market, with getting better entries in the market. That's all price action is. That's all it will ever be. So pulling the trigger and letting the market play out. If this was your trade here, you would have been swimming in deep blues, guys, deep blues. Anyways, that's what I wanted to get off my chest today, guys. Since this being the first video in a while, I wanted to make it short but sweet. So I'm thinking of I'll be making videos, YouTube videos every day. I'll be posting a video on YouTube. So after every video like this, feel free to tell me in the comments, what do you want me to talk about, so that I can actually prepare for the next video. Without further ado, guys, I appreciate your time. If you've made it this far, I appreciate and love you. Thank you for giving me your time. Have a blessed day. Have a great one. Till next time, guys. Peace and love.